Hello and welcome to the 8th edition of Meyer Memos. Today is October 23rd, 2020. On Monday, October 26th, we have a technology meeting at 8 o'clock. The meeting code is OLI Tech Meeting. We have our first fire drill at 2 p.m. for the A-Day students. Let the office know if you don't have a map and let me know if you have any questions. Tuesday, October 27th, we have a staff meeting at 8. The agenda will be the overview of SPED and ISST services, and the code is OLI Staff Meeting. And we have a fire drill at 2 p.m. for the B-Day. Wednesday, October 28th, we have an ISST meeting at 8, code OLI ISST. Our materials, library books pickup is at 9 to 1 p.m. And then see the link that I sent in this memo for the details. I will meet with distance learning teachers at 9:40 on Wednesday. The code is OLI DL Team. And we have a swim meeting at 11 a.m. Thursday, October 29th, we have our first lockdown drill for A-Day at 9:20. Remember to wear masks and 6 feet distance. The principals meeting, I have a principals meeting at 11, and there are flu shots offered at Kennedy High School from 2:30 to 5:30. Friday, October 30th, we have a BLT meeting at 8 a.m. Our lockdown for the B-Day is at 9:20. Again, wear masks and 6 feet distance. Cultural liaison hours, Lawanda will be remote on Wednesdays and here at Olson on Thursdays. When we're short guest teacher, we don't have many options, folks, so I'm just going to tell you where we're at. We're going to have Jenny would be an option, Daravingus, Amy would be an option, and myself. And the next piece would be that if someone's sick in a grade level, the teacher, the other hybrid teacher would go between the two classes, and a para would be monitoring that classroom. I'm open to other ideas. There may be a piece where a DL teacher comes in and covers for a hybrid teacher who needs to be home. That would probably only be the case if the hybrid teacher was in quarantine because they're not watching a sick kid or they're not sick themselves. Also, parties. There are no parties this year. I know that we're getting close to our Halloween, but we need to maximize our learning time and social distance, and we find other ways to have fun. And so parties are going to kind of go to the wayside, and for good reason because of where we're at. And we'll talk about this in the future. OLI conferences. So I met with the BLT today, and there were some things that brought to my attention that we need a loose, tight standardization. So what we're going to do is here's the tightness. OLI, there's a master conference doc with teacher schedules on it. Okay, it's going to look like this. Becca has created it, and with that, everyone sets up their schedule, and there's a sample teacher template that looks at the bottom of this. And it would look like something like this. If this is the time and days, okay, you'd have your own copy and paste. Put that into here. So if it's Abby would link it right here so we would have it. We would make it so that everyone would have access, okay? And then at the bottom, there is, or at the bottom, there's also the OLI EL Fall Conference interpreters, like who needs interpreters, and then the different interpreters at the bottom. And then if you go to the second page of this piece, there are directions on what it is, and Becca made this up. Thank you, Becca. So it says check the EL conference, fall conference spreadsheet to determine which families in your class request an interpreter. Check the times of the Spanish, Somali, Chinese, or Vietnamese language. And during the week of November 9th through the 13th by clicking on the tabs, and there's a schedule there so that we can utilize those interpreters. Contact the family to set up the time that works for you with the language ambassador. If not a language ambassador available, then you'll be using the language bank. And then you'd add the student information and Google Meet link into the spreadsheet. And then that will double check to be sure that you're adding it to the correct language ambassador. So this is how we would go about this. So the tightness is that we're using this master sheet that we all can see following these guidelines, but it's going to be during your own time. And I want to give you as much time as possible, but when people are saying that it's kind of hard. So then they decided that we're going to move to a little bit of tightness so that we can all be on the same page. If you have any questions, let me know. So each teacher will link their schedule by October 30th, so that's about a week. Schedule does not have to be completed. Just put a template in there and then start filling it in. The standardization would be, this is the tightness, 15 to 20 minutes each. And then you send out the Google Doc to families when ready. And then please make sure that the families know that they're only editing their day and time, and be careful not to edit someone else's schedule. Door number 4. Why do I have a picture of that? Well, when returning from recess, please use door number 4 near the media during inclement weather. So if it's snowing outside, it was raining outside, or it's wet outside, please come through that door, because it's safer due to this long rug that I purchased so that we can have it, the boots and stuff, dry off better. There's less noise and commotion, okay? Thank you for doing that. If it's dry and there's no problem, you can come in a different door if that's fine. But I would recommend coming in, or I want people to come in here and utilize that rug. Hybrid DL and hybrid work group updates, and we focused on assessments this past week. It was determined that there's no need to test the first unit, because those skills will be taught and assessed elsewhere in other units. If you choose to do so, that's fine, but there's no need to do that. Math assessments for all grades are available in Seesaw. EL assessments for units 4 and 5 are available for all grades. And the Learning and Teaching Department is working on units 2 and 3. The reason 4 or 5 are done is because they did, the Lit Circle teachers created those assessments for the units 4 and 5 last spring. And then Wednesday, the Learning and Teaching Department will host sessions to introduce priority standards units, and invites were sent to the teachers in the different conferences. Materials drop-off pickup. Please see the link in the email. I have a few links for people to reference. And that basically tells you how we're going to do that. We'll have one once a month. It'll give you all the dates. And then DL and hybrid student concerns. Please see this link. It's also in the email. And I would like for each teacher to go through, and you can see that there's kindergarten, there's first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. These are the tabs. Write a student, their grade, the teacher's name, and a concern you have. Student's not showing up to meets. Student is having trouble with friends. Basically, what this does is this allows our school to maximize all our resources and get people the help they need. By doing this, we can help students the best we can. So classroom teachers, please submit those students and your concerns. This is due by the end of the school day on Friday, October 30th. So think about your kids. This gives you the weekend. It gives you next Wednesday. I know it's a short amount of time, but we want to start putting things in place. And then student climate surveys. We have a K2, a 3, and 3.5 versions. They are open right now until Friday, November 6, 2020. And I want everyone to do these for each class. They must complete part of our OLE site improvement plan. One thing I didn't put in this bullet point is they're going to be utilized or pushed out through Seesaw. All right. And see the links in the email, and I'll have directions on how to do that. If you have any questions, let me know. And then Minnesota Reading Math Course has a program called Scholar Squad, and it is a one-to-one tutor. It's outside of the school day. They directly work with the family. Program starts next Monday. We can start getting kids signed up. They can spend 5 days a week, total of 100 minutes, and it's for kids in reading, K3, and math, grades 4-5. And there's a link of the overview in my memo, and there'll be more information to come. With that, that's all I have. Thank you for a great first week of hybrid learning, and I wish you a wonderful weekend.